is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am so excited to live stream tonight. It has been so long since the last one. I hope you guys all had a great holiday season, a good Christmas, a good New Year. We are officially in 2026, the year of Scream 7. The true countdown begins. I believe today makes 50 days until Scream 7. So we're almost there, you guys. That's actually insane. Like, Scream 7 is going to be here before we know it. Okay, yeah, I see. I see Alex coming through with the countdown. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate all you guys being here. We're going to hang out for a little bit, talk some Scream theories as always. If you guys have any theories or thoughts, predictions for Scream 7, start dropping them in the chat. We will get to them. We can also talk theories about like past Scream movies, you know. We can throw in some other horror movie talk as well. Pretty much get into whatever we want. But yeah, it's been pretty quiet as far as like hey Billy. It's been pretty quiet as far as like the whole marketing aspect of Scream 7. You know, we only got that first trailer back on October 30th. That was before Halloween. We're well into the new year now, and we still haven't gotten anything. You know, we haven't gotten a second trailer yet, which I feel like we could get at any moment. You know, we're only 7 weeks away from the movie coming out. We haven't gotten any posters, like character posters that we got for Scream 5 and 6. I would imagine those are coming. I don't know. What else? Do you guys remember like Scream 6 had those really fun posters? They released like several different posters for Scream 6. I don't know. Hopefully we get some of that for Scream 7. Let's get into the chat though. We have not Randy Meeks here. Welcome. Hey, RJ. My holiday season was good. I hope yours was too. We have layoffs and liquidations here. Welcome. Glad you could catch the live stream. I know it's been a while since I've done a live stream. I am hoping and planning to do multiple live streams leading up to Scream 7. Today was kind of an impromptu live stream. I wasn't planning on going live today, which is why you guys should all turn on all notifications for my channel so that you don't miss out when I randomly go live. I'm thinking this Sunday I might do another live stream, just FYI, maybe a little earlier in the day. Right now it's the evening time for me. Hey, Chocolate Ice. Hi, Alex. We have Flipper Kid here. Welcome. Billy is here. Matthew. Oliver. Hello, hello. Stabby 97. Welcome. Just gonna say hello to a few people and then I'll start getting into the super chats. I see that there are some super chats coming in. I appreciate you guys. Super chats always take priority. Typically, I'm just saying hello to some people and then the super chats will be taking priority. If you have a comment that you want to guarantee that I see and gets answered, you can send in a super chat. In fact, let's get a little super chat goal going in the chat. Let's see. Let's do, if we can do 15 super chats in an hour, we will do an extra 30 minutes on the stream. So, yeah, I'm planning to do an hour tonight, but we'll do an extra 30 minutes if we hit the super chat goal. So keep that in mind if that is something you guys would enjoy. But either way, we're going to hang out for a little bit. Hey, Glorious. Johnny Keene is here throwing out a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Great to see you as well. I'm so happy to be back hanging out with you guys. Things just got really busy with the holiday season and everything like that. And I do work during the day most days. So, but now that the holidays are behind us, I am hoping to prioritize streaming some more. Because I miss it. I love hanging out with you guys and talking Scream. I can't believe we have a new movie coming out soon. But yeah, thank you, Johnny. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for the super chat. What do you think about the marketing campaign? It's been underwhelming to me for the most part. Not a lot coming out. Yeah, I agree with you. There's been nothing, like I feel like there's so many opportunities to just do some fun stuff, and we've gotten nothing. We did get a new teaser, I wouldn't even call it, it wasn't like a teaser trailer. It was like a quick little, I don't even know what you would call it. I didn't even make a video about it. I should have thrown it in my video last night that I posted. I did post about what I'm referring to on my community page, though. So if you guys missed it, you can check that out. It was just like a list of New Year's resolutions for Ghostface, which I do think was a lot of fun. But keep going, keep up with it, keep giving us some more stuff like that. Yeah, I was hoping for another trailer. Maybe next week, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Wasn't it a Thursday when the first trailer dropped? So is Thursday like a day for trailers typically? So if not this Thursday, hopefully next Thursday. Oliver is here, and you said you're a member for 10 months. Thank you so much for the continued support on the channel. You said, I still think Stu and Casey are the killers in 7. Casey who? Casey Becker? No way. She is for sure dead, but you know how I feel about Stu. Stu is the killer. Oh my goodness, Zork. No, I haven't. I'm so sorry. First of all, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you always coming through in these live streams, and I appreciate you moderating as well. No, listen, things just got, like I was saying earlier, crazy with the holiday season. I think you DM'd me about it. So, okay, after this stream, when this stream is over, send me a DM again, but not until the stream's over so that like I'll see it when it's over. I have to check it out. I will. I promise you. I forgot. I suck. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Zork, for the $5 super chat. Let's see, what other super chats did we get? We have another super chat from Johnny. Thank you so much. You said, great to see you back. I admit losing Craven really made me lose interest for a while, but this channel and Horror Davey D have helped a lot. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, I will also admit it's felt kind of weird since losing Craven. I haven't been watching a lot of like other people's channels either. I think about him every day, honestly, because I love Scream so much that I think about Scream every day, and you can't think about Scream without thinking about Steven from Craven Something Scary. So yeah, it's been rough. It's tough. He, of course, would have loved to see this movie. So it's tough, but we will keep his memory alive. Thank you so much, Johnny, for your super chat. Jaws Webo has been a member for 1 month. Thank you so much. You said, this is going to be fun. Better be Stu. I agree with you. There's those theories that it's just an AI version of Stu. It's just a flashback. I don't think so. I think he's alive. You guys know how I feel. I put out a video about Stu. When was that? Maybe like a month ago at this point. 3 weeks ago. About Stu MACHER. If anyone has not seen it, please check it out after the stream. Billy is throwing out a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. You said, where's Kirby? Jill Roberts? Mark survives? Where's Kirby? I don't know. I would love to see her. I guess there's always a chance that she'll be in the movie, but they haven't announced her return. Maybe they're keeping it a surprise. I don't know, because why are they announcing Matthew Lillard's return, David Arquette's, Scott Foley? Like, why are they announcing all these people, but not Hayden Panettiere? Like, maybe they want to keep some surprises. I would love if that was the case. Maybe she'll show up for like a little end credit scene to maybe set up the next movie. There was rumors about a spinoff for Kirby. We first heard about this not this past summer, but the summer before that. It's been a long time since we heard that rumor, and we haven't heard anything since then. So is that even happening? I don't know. Jill Roberts, I would love to see Jill again. Some of you guys might know how I feel about Jill. She is like one of my favorite ghost faces. She's, in my top 5. There's also a theory for Jill being alive as well as Stu. I don't know if they would do that, bring back 2 ghost faces, just because I know that so many people already have such a hard time wrapping their head around Stu being alive. So I can see where bringing back 2 past ghost faces alive would seem a little far-fetched, not so believable. People wouldn't like it. I get that. I personally would love it. Imagine like they reveal Stu to us and, my head's already exploding. And then they also are like, guess what? Also Jill's alive. I would have a heart attack. I would die. I would love it. I don't know. I think with Jill, at least they could get a little creative and, maybe do just a flashback with Jill, because I do feel like Emma Roberts looks exactly the same. Like, she has not aged whatsoever. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll see Jill in some capacity, but I don't know. Will Mark survive? I don't know. In that first trailer that we got, it looks like he dies, but would they really spoil that in the trailer? Maybe it's meant to be misleading. I don't know. I feel like he has to die, because I don't think they're going to kill Sydney. I don't think they're going to kill her daughter, because that's a little too dark. But the stakes have to be pretty high to have some sort of impact. And I think the next best thing would be to kill Sydney's husband, her daughter's father. I'm willing to bet Mark dies, but I guess we'll see. I don't know. Thank you, Billy, for your super chat. I appreciate you. Johnny is throwing out another super chat. Thank you. When I see Scream 7, I'll be thinking of Craven too. Yes, absolutely. I definitely will be as well. And I think all of us will, to be honest. How can we not? Thank you, Johnny, for all of your super chats. You are being very generous tonight. And Silver Princess is throwing out a $5 super chat. Thank you. You said, I tagged you in my community post a few weeks ago because you were my most watched channel of the year. Hashtag ignored. Anyway, I'm good with just one trailer. I'm sorry, I did not see it. I'll look at it after the stream or try to. You know, I've noticed that sometimes when people tag me in things on YouTube or like mention me in a post, sometimes I don't get the notification until weeks later. I don't know what is up with that. It's not like it doesn't work like a typical comment on my video where I pretty much see it instantly or at least it's in my feed. For some reason when people tag me, I rarely see it. It's quite frustrating. I apologize, Silver Princess. I was not ignoring you, I promise. If I would have seen that, um, I would have answered, I swear. I promise you I will check it out after the stream. You know what? Let me write this down. I need to check out Zork's video and your post. Okay, I made a note of it. It will get done. Thank you so much, Silver Princess, for your super chat. Very generous. I appreciate you hanging out tonight. And also, that's incredible that I was your most watched channel of the year. That's so fun. I love that. I appreciate the continued support. You've really been here since like the beginning, I think. So it's been a long, long journey. And I appreciate you sticking around. Seriously. I think this March will be 3 years since I started my channel. It's kind of crazy. Time really flies when you're having fun. Okay, super chats are answered. Let's get back to the regular chat. I will try to get to everyone, but it's hard. We have 48 people here right now. Thank you so much, you guys. Let's see, where was I? They should have kept Stu's aged mask for Scream 7. I agree. Hopefully they do, though. You know, we never know. Just because it wasn't in the trailer or a poster or anything doesn't mean it won't show up. Maybe they feel like if they use it again, it might spoil it a little bit and they're keeping it a secret. I don't know. Hey, Donovan. Hey, Harvey. Yeah, I am so ready for Scream 7. You know, to be honest, like, I try not to think about it too much. Like, I don't know. I've just kind of been focused on other things like work and, you know, just the holiday season. And sometimes I feel like if I think about it too much, I just like can't sleep. I'll be too excited. But now that it's January, it's almost time for the movie. You know, hopefully we're getting another trailer soon. Once more stuff starts coming out, hopefully, I will be so excited. Yeah, we definitely need Stu to say some of his original lines. Like I've said before that I definitely want him to say, "Surprise, Sydney." And I want him to say, "I always had a thing for you, Sid." You know, we need little callbacks to the original. I did not hear this, that Hayden Kirby is in Scream 7. I know months ago, I think it was Entertainment Weekly, published an article where they said that she's going to be in it, but it hadn't been confirmed. And then they kind of like backtracked and said, you know, just kidding, this isn't confirmed. So I don't know. Johnny with another super chat. Thank you. What are your expectations for the film? It's releasing at a good time. If they promote around Super Bowl, I think they will increase the buzz. I mean, my expectations, like, I am expecting it to be even better than 5 and 6. I enjoyed 5 and 6, of course, but it definitely was missing something that I think the first 4 movies had, which probably was Wes Craven. But, if we can't have Wes Craven, I think the next best thing is Kevin Williamson, who created these characters in this story initially. So, my expectations are it's going to be better than 5 and 6. I hope Stu comes back alive. I hope it's very suspenseful. I think suspense is really what was missing from 5 and 6 as well. Like chase scenes. We need some good chase scenes. Yeah, I really just think that they should start stepping it up as far as the marketing. I don't know what the holdup is. I don't know why they've been so quiet. You know, um, I feel like the marketing for 6 was really good. I really don't know why they're not seizing the opportunity. Um, but there's rumors about the second trailer dropping soon. Hopefully they start dropping some posters. There's no doubt in my mind that this movie will perform well numbers wise, but it can't hurt to promote it as much as possible. So I don't know what they're doing, but thank you, Johnny, for the super chat, and I see you threw in another one. Thank you. You said the closer to the movie, I'm doubting Stu is alive. No, we have to manifest it. We can't have that mentality. There's never been a doubt in my mind. I'm sticking with it. And we'll just have to see. Listen, I don't know, but I think he's alive. So we got to keep hope alive. But that is like, as much as I want the movie to be here now and I want to see it now, there really is something so exciting about the time leading up to it because we don't know what happens in the movie. And there's still that hope. Even though the movie is written, it's filmed, it exists, the movie exists. So whatever happens in the movie has already happened. But we don't know it. We don't know it yet. So there's still that hope and there's that excitement of not knowing. And then once it's out, God forbid, knock on wood, if he's not alive, then that's it. Then we know. I don't know. We just got to keep hope alive. Oh my goodness, we have a $20 super chat from Stumacher's cat. Wow. Thank you so much for the super chat. That is very generous. Does he have a cat in the movie? And we just never see it? Or doesn't he have a dog? Doesn't the board in his kitchen say feed the dog? I don't know. You said Kirby knows Stu's alive, but I just can't prove it yet. That look she gave Mindy was suspicious as fuck. Yeah, I am 100% with you. I have talked about this in several videos on the channel. Yeah, I I think I talked about it in my most recent Stu theory video from 3 weeks ago. If anyone wants to check it out. Yeah, I mean, Kirby is FBI. So, and she even says, I take a special interest in Ghostface attacks. So, yeah, we know that the police board in Scream 6 says Stu is dead, but that doesn't prove anything. People believe he's dead, so it's going to say he's dead. But as an FBI agent, she might have top secret information that not everyone is going to have. The rest of our characters with Sam and Tara, they're not going to know if Stu's alive. And even the police officers who are like, lower down than the FBI might not know. But the FBI, who tends to investigate these, uh, sensitive cases, might have information that they can't just go spewing to everyone. So yeah, I think there is a chance that Kirby knows Stu's alive. I agree that look was suspicious. And why didn't she say anything in response to Mindy? If the idea of Stu being alive in the universe is so crazy, why wouldn't Kirby say something like, what are you talking about, Mindy? That's crazy. Like, of course he's dead. I find it interesting that they chose to have Kirby not only not say something in response, but to give that suspicious look. Guy Busick, who was one of the writers on 5 and 6, is a big Stu believer, and he has been very vocal about how he's been in that writer's room for years now, trying to fight for Stu's return. And he happens to still be a writer for Scream 7. So, like, if they were always planning for Stu's grand reveal in Scream 7 as like the finale of that trilogy, if Sam had stayed on and whatnot, don't you think that they would have been planting the seeds in 5 and 6 so that it could pay off in 7? Because okay, all the people who are like Stu deniers who say like, the Stu clues aren't there and we're imagining it and we're reaching whatever. Can you imagine if those Stu Easter eggs weren't in 5 and 6 and they just pulled it out of nowhere in 7 and brought him back without setting it up at all in 5 or 6? People would say like, that's so random to bring him back. Like, why didn't they lay the groundwork in the first 2 movies? Like, I don't know. Listen, I'm with you 100%. Kirby might know, but it'll suck if Stu does come back alive and Kirby's not in the movie. I feel like that's unfortunate, but I don't know. You guys also know my theory that or my hope that if Stu does come back alive in 7, he gets away with it at the end so that we can get him in a second movie in Scream 8. Because while we have Matthew Lillard, we might as well use him while we have him before ultimately killing him off for good. And then we'll never be able to see him again, So why not use him for 2 movies, get Kirby to come back in Scream 8 to officially hunt him down, working for the FBI, and be part of that team who finally kills Stu for good in 8. But that's just me. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Greatly appreciate it. The support on the channel. Let's see. We have another super chat from Aiden Bernard Studios. Thank you. You said, who do you think will win in a fight, Dexter or Ghostface? Probably Ghostface, to be honest. I mean, no, probably Dexter. The thing with Ghostface is we don't know who's under the mask, like, is it one of the better Ghostfaces or is it one of the worse ones like Amber or Ethan? So I guess it does depend on who is under the mask. However, I do think, honestly, Dexter would beat anyone as Ghostface because not only is he, trained and strong, but he's just smarter. And, yeah, I just think Dexter would win. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Alex said, would it surprise you to learn that Guy Busick wanted to bring Stu Macher back as a living character, but that Kevin Williamson vetoed him? This would be unforgivable. Would it surprise me? A little bit. Just because that was Kevin's original idea for Scream 3. So why wouldn't he want to see it finally play out? So yeah, it would surprise me a little bit. Hey, Ghostface Stu Macher. Oh, another super chat from Stu Macher's cat. Thank you. You said, remember when Tatum got scared when getting beers from the fridge? Stu's cat spooked her leaving the garage. My profile picture is the cat escaping. Yeah, you know, when I was talking about that before on your last super chat, I was trying to think and I said to myself, don't we see it in the garage at some point? But yeah, I kind of forgot about that. That's so funny. I love the channel name and the profile picture. Thank you so much for both of your super chats. Super generous of you. I appreciate it. Hey Jesse. Let's see. Hey Harvey, what was your favorite film of 2025? Yours is Sinners, Life of Chuck, and Marty Supreme. You know, I really enjoyed Marty Supreme. So I might go with that one also. It came out just in time, you know, it just made 2025. Let's see here. Hey Chris. Have you seen Welcome to Derry? I have not. I watched the first episode, which I did really enjoy. But you know, the show premiered like before Christmas, and during Christmas time, I like to just stick with Christmas movies. So now that Christmas is over, yes, I do have to finish the season. I heard it was really good. So yeah, I've only seen the first episode, but definitely gotta watch the rest. Hey Matthew, if you're still here, thank you for stopping by. Hey Paul, Happy New Year. Let's see. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate it. I'm trying to come up with some Scream 7 theories, but you know, it's kind of hard to get creative these days. I feel like I've come up with every theory possible. And with no second trailer, there's just not much to go off of, but I'm going to try to brainstorm some theories for the channel. Johnny is throwing out another super chat. Thank you. What did you think of Stranger Things? Ooh. So, you know, in case anyone here is not caught up with Stranger Things, spoiler alert incoming, you know, we're probably going to talk some Stranger Things spoilers, so pop out of the stream while you can for like 2-3 minutes and come back. I was not very happy with season 5. I love Stranger Things as a show in general. I think season 1 is like some of my favorite TV ever. I really love seasons 1 through 4, and I had high hopes for season 5. The volume 1 was like decent, I enjoyed it. Volume 2, I thought sucked so bad. I found it so boring. It felt like a chore trying to get through it. And when I was watching it and not enjoying it, I thought to myself, like, is it just me? Am I the only one who's thinking this? Like, is everyone else loving this? And for some reason, I just can't get into it. And then the second I finished volume 2 and like checked social media, practically everyone was in agreement with me. And I was like, okay, I guess volume 2 really does suck. And then that finale, man, I said this on my Instagram story. How I know the finale sucked, at least in my opinion, is because I didn't cry. And when I watch movies and TV shows, I cry very easily. Like, I get emotional at things, at movies and stuff. And I didn't shed a tear for the finale, which is very abnormal for me. I should have cried. So it didn't make me feel anything. It didn't move me. I see Stu Macher's cat asked the same question. Thank you, Johnny, for your super chat, and Stu Macher's cat. Yeah, so again, spoiler alert for Stranger Things, if you haven't seen it. The whole ending with 11 and, is she dead? Is she not? I think she is. And I think that the reason they left it open-ended was only so that fans can keep talking about it forever. The way that The Sopranos, like, I don't know if anyone, spoiler alert for The Sopranos as well, but I'm not going to say exactly what happens, but there is a debate about what happens at the end of The Sopranos. And it's like a similar thing with Stranger Things. And I feel like it was a cop-out. Like, I don't know. They did it just so that fans can keep talking about it, keep going back and watching it to like dissect the show, even though the ending sucked. And I don't know. I think she died, but I don't know. I wasn't happy with it. Which kind of sucks. Like, I have no desire to go back and rewatch the show. And that's something that I love to do. I love to rewatch some of my favorite things. I'm constantly rewatching movies that I love and TV shows that I love. I'm rewatching Dexter right now for like the 5th time. And, season 1 of Stranger Things is so good that I would love to go back and rewatch it one day. But the fact that the ending sucks so bad, I don't know if I ever will. I don't know. Maybe one day, but it's too soon. Like, I'm not in a rush to rewatch it anytime soon. But yeah, I wasn't happy with it. I think it sucked. I think they had so long to perfect it, and it sucked. Like, I don't know. Terrible. Thank you guys for your super chats. Let's see. We have a $10 super chat from Alex. Thank you so much. You said, regarding Steven, he died on September 28, 2025, which was the 30th anniversary of Maureen Prescott's murder. He died exactly 30 years after it all started. That is funny that you say that, because I also noticed that. And I thought that to myself. And I also wondered if anyone else would notice that. And I said to myself, like, wow, like, that's kind of poetic in a way. Like, he's a true Scream fan through and through. That is pretty crazy. That literally crossed my mind as well. So it's crazy that you're you're bringing it up. Yeah, man, I miss him so much. Like, literally just hanging out in his live streams and like chatting with all you guys in the chat. You know, no one was doing it like him. Like, he was live streaming constantly and just he you know, really had this whole community that it was just nice to have somewhere to like show up to at least once a week to gather and hang out. And I miss it. I miss his videos. I miss hearing his voice and hearing him get excited for Scream 7. And it just sucks, man. It really does. But yeah, rest in peace, Steven. Thank you, Alex, so much for your super chat. Very, very generous of you. Matthew says, I think Mindy may end up dying. Always a possibility. I feel like one of the twins have to go. You know, they both survived pretty crazy injuries in 5 and 6. Chad especially, but Mindy too, honestly. Like, you know, she was stabbed in the stomach in Scream 6. And at the end, she's just like literally running around, cracking jokes. Like, as if you didn't just get stabbed in the stomach hours ago. Like, you know, I understand being able to survive it, but literally running around and like in good spirits, like, I don't know. So yeah, I feel like one of the twins have to go. And we'll see. Who do we think it is? You know what? Let's get a poll going in the chat. Why not? Which Meeks twin is more likely to die in Scream 7? Mindy or Chad? All right. There is a poll that is going on in the chat. So submit your answers. Let's see by the end of the stream where we're at. Hey, JDev. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. Stabby 97 is working on a video for their channel. Nice. DJ C Combat, throwing out a super chat. Thank you. I think Stu killed Jason and Greg. Interesting. I don't know if it was you last night when I posted my new video. I did like a premiere for the video, and in the live chat, someone said this. I don't know. I can't remember if it was you. Yeah, so it's possible. I do think Jason and Greg were in Stu's cult. I've talked about this since Scream 6's release in several videos. I do think Jason and Greg were both in Stu's cult, just like Richie and Amber were. Would Stu kill some of his cult members? Probably. Why not? You know, maybe they went against him and did something they shouldn't have done. I don't know. You know, I have to go back and rewatch that scene and maybe see if I can pick up on any clues for Stu killing those two. Oh, okay. Brett's throwing out a super chat now saying it was you last night who said that. Yeah, so I guess this is like somewhat of a popular theory, maybe. That's interesting. Wait, Brett. Oh, what did you say the channel was? Scream something that had that video? Let me know in the chat. I'll look out for your comment. Because that's interesting. I want to watch the video. Thank you, Brett, and thank you, DJ Combat, for your super chats. We have a couple more super chats. Stumacher's cat with another super chat. Thank you. You said, I'm in full support of Mindy getting killed off. I always found her annoying. Chad is cool, but he shouldn't have survived Scream 6. Yeah, so I honestly don't really care if Mindy dies. I'm not very attached to her character. I do like Chad a lot more. He's funnier. He's more charming, I think. So I do think I would be a little sad if Chad dies. So I guess I would rather Mindy die. Although at the same time, you want to feel something when these characters die. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I do find Mindy a little annoying as well. I think she's less annoying in Scream 5. Like, I kind of like her in Scream 5. She's kind of funny. Like, when I do go back and rewatch Scream 5, I do find myself laughing a little bit at a lot of her scenes. I think Scream 6 is kind of where she gets more annoying, in my opinion. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully she's written better in Scream 7. We shall see. Maybe, I know Jasmine Savoy Brown said that Kevin Williamson admitted to her that Mindy is his favorite character. So Kevin Williamson is credited as a writer, a co-writer on Scream 7. So with him helping to write the movie and with Mindy being one of his favorites, hopefully she is written better for Scream 7. Thank you for your super chat. Okay, I see, Brett, your super chat saying Scream Fanatic is the channel name. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the super chats. Yeah, in case anyone doesn't know quite what we're talking about, this channel, Scream Fanatic, has a theory video. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know just how good it is. But Brett let me know that they have a theory video about Stu Macher killing Jason and Greg in Scream 6. So if you're curious, definitely check it out. I will be watching it at some point. Thank you, Brett. Johnny throwing out another super chat. Thank you so much. You said Chad because he survived 2 ghost faces somehow. Yeah, so I do feel like Chad should be the one to die because, like you said, listen, what he survived in Scream 5 was already crazy. That was like, what, 9 stabs, I think, in Scream 5? And then Scream 6, he was stabbed literally over 20 times by 2 ghost faces, which is just crazy to me. That was the first time that we ever saw 2 ghost faces team up together for 1 kill on screen in the Scream franchise. That is supposed to be like an iconic history-making moment. So whoever these 2 ghost faces teamed up on should have died. It should have been an epic kill. But guess what? Chad survived. So yeah, I don't know. It might be his time. But then again, I know a lot of people say, like, he's meant to be the new Dewey. he's kind of meant to be the new Dewey, and Dewey survived some crazy stuff as well. You know, I do think the injuries that Dewey survived were a little more believable than Chad's, but still, you know, I don't know. Listen, I don't know, but people thinking that Chad is the new Dewey might mean that he might stick around a little bit longer for a few more movies. So we'll see. Let's see here. We have a $10 super chat from Roman Bryant. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Not a Scream theory, but I made a Dexter versus Michael Myers fan film releasing in 2 weeks. Just wanted to share with you and my fellow Dexter fans. Nice. That is interesting. I am intrigued and would like to check it out. When it comes out in 2 weeks, send me the link somehow. Like either leave a comment on one of my videos, or you can email it to me if you want. My email is in the description of all of my videos, probably even this live stream. So if you scroll down to the description, you can find my email and feel free to send it to me. That's awesome. You know, Dexter might be my favorite TV show ever. You know, I can't think of one that I probably am more obsessed with than Dexter. So the character of Dexter is one of my favorite characters. And of course, I love Michael Myers. So definitely intrigued. Definitely send me the link when it comes out. Thank you so much, Roman, for your super chat. Super generous of you. Stu Mocker's cat, another super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. You said, if Stu ends up being alive in 7, are you going to post about it on here? Asking because I want to avoid spoilers in case I don't watch it premiere night. So I would never reveal any spoilers in a thumbnail or a video title so soon after the movie comes out. Absolutely not. Will I talk about it in my videos? Yes, but I will give plenty of spoiler warnings. Like I said, won't reveal it in the thumbnail or the title. So you would have to click on the video and watch it to even know what I'm talking about. And in the video, I will give several spoiler warnings. I will let people know, like, listen, if you have not seen Scream 7 and you don't want to be spoiled, come back to this video after you've seen it. Like, yeah, I absolutely would never put out a video like the day after Scream 7 comes out that's titled like confirmed Stu Macher's alive. I would absolutely never do that. So don't worry about that. Yeah, when Scream 6 came out, I don't think I put any spoilers in thumbnails or titles until it came out, you know, digital release. And even then, I probably waited a little bit until, yeah, no, you have nothing to worry about. Don't worry. No spoilers here on the channel. Thank you so much, Stu Macher's cat. You have been very generous tonight. Several super chats from you. Johnny, another one with another super chat. Sorry, another message, Pam. don't apologize, especially if it's a super chat. I seriously appreciate it. They are selling tickets to visit the Stumacher house in March. It's in California. Would be an awesome video for you to do. That would be an awesome video. I would love to go. Maybe I will. I've talked about this on my channel before. I haven't flown on a plane in, I think, almost 3 years, and I kind of am scared. I'm kind of scared to fly. I don't know, like, I've always kind of been anxious about it, but it's gotten worse in recent years. But I do think I can fly again. Like, I don't plan to go the rest of my life without going on an airplane somewhere. So if I'm gonna go somewhere, why not the Stumacher house? Yeah, I gotta do it, right? Like, but it's probably so expensive, like, to stay in that house. I don't know. I'll look into it. Appreciate the super chat, Johnny, and I see there's another one from you. I think me and the chat would agree you have the talent and looks and personality to do YouTube full time. Thank you, Johnny. Whether it's Scream, Dexter, or anything you want. I appreciate that so much. That's super kind of you. So I was doing YouTube full time for a while, honestly, for maybe almost like 2 years. This was my only job, and I absolutely loved it. I still love it. I'm still here doing it, but to do it full time, it's like, first of all, I was making pretty good money, not gonna lie, thanks to you guys. I seriously appreciate that. But it wasn't quite enough to, you know, cover all the costs of living. If it was, that would be great. And it's also one of those things where it's like it can be mentally exhausting because you have to be so creative all the time and constantly working on new ideas, constantly coming up with new videos. And, if the video doesn't perform well, then you're not going to make that much on the video. And, after a while, I just kind of felt a little bit burnt out where, like, I was just exhausted. I really couldn't, I was really struggling to come up with new ideas because I've done every idea I could possibly think of. And it's like, if I can't come up with new ideas, then I can't really make money. I don't know, but I still love doing it, of course. But I do have another full-time job now, so that is why I haven't been streaming as much as I'd like to or making videos, because it is time consuming. Like, to come up with a video, to brainstorm ideas, that is, time consuming as it is. Then I need to film the video, which sometimes I spend an hour filming a video. If it's like a in-depth theory video, that takes me a while. And then to edit the video takes hours, honestly. I don't know if a lot of people know. I do. There are a lot of people who do say to me, like, I know how time consuming it is, and we appreciate the time you put in, which I love hearing people say that because it's true. But then there are a lot of people who, like, some nasty people in my comments. There's not a lot of nasty people, but sometimes I get them. And, I don't think they understand quite how much time and energy does go into making videos. And sometimes they'll get mad at me because, I'm not putting out a video quick enough. I don't know. It is a lot of work, but I love it. So that's why we're still here. Thank you so much, Johnny. I appreciate you and all of you guys here hanging out. That's what makes this so much fun. And if none of you guys were here, I would have no one to talk to about these movies that we love. So I seriously appreciate all of you. Stu Macher's cat, another super chat. Thank you so much. You said, I kept thinking you'd post a Scream 7 review, but the thumbnail could possibly spoil it because it'd be you with with happy tears because Stu was alive. That is so funny that you say that because I was literally thinking about this last night. And I was thinking about when I finally see the movie, opening night, of course. I was thinking about what exactly am I going to post? You know, it's going to take me probably a day to get my actual review up and posted, but I probably will like tweet something quick about it or post an Instagram story just to quickly say like, you know, I loved it or whatever. And then I thought what you just said, I thought to myself like, "Oh, but if I say, "Oh my god, Scream 7 was amazing," then my viewers might think like, "Oh, great. She's happy, so that must mean Stu's alive." But listen, not necessarily. Like, you know, God forbid Stu doesn't come back alive. Will I be disappointed about that? Yes, but it could still be a great movie without him. You know, I could still be happy with the movie and say, "Oh my god, Scream 7 was amazing," even if he's not in it, you know? I would hope that even without him, it's gonna be a good movie. Um, and same goes for the opposite. If I say first of all, I can't imagine that I'll be disappointed with the movie. Like, I imagine I'm gonna love Scream 7 no matter what. But even if I think it's a terrible movie and I'm disappointed with it, and I tweet something and say, Scream 7 kind of sucked, that also doesn't necessarily mean Stu's not in it alive, because what if they do bring him back alive, but they just do it poorly? And I think they dropped the ball and didn't do it in a good way. You know what I mean? So anyone here right now who is watching this, when the time comes for Scream 7 and I've seen the movie, I would never spoil it and say, guys, guess what? Stu's alive or he's not, whatever. But if I do say I love the movie or I hated the movie, that doesn't mean anything as far as like Stu. Okay? Just so you know. Um yeah. So don't worry about that. Thank you so much for your super chat. Looks like we are all caught up on super chats for now. Let's see. How are we doing on this poll? Oh my god, it's like moving as we speak. Right now it's 50-50, which makes Twin is more likely to die. Mindy or Chad. Right now it's 50. How many? Wait, can I even see how many votes there are? Oh, there's 37 votes. 38 votes. Oh. Oh, wow. I'm like watching it in real time go up. Interesting. $53 votes. Mindy is in the lead for most likely to die. All right, let's get back to the main chat. Hey Russell, glad you could make this one. Yes, please. If everyone could please give the stream a like, that would greatly help out the channel. Exactly, Zork. People fake their deaths in real life all the time. So, especially in a movie, why would it not be possible? Easier to disappear in the 90s too. That is a good point, Johnny. Ariana says, we stand with Stu. Absolutely. This is a good point, Chocolate Ice. People denying Stu like Toby and Andrew in Spider-Man. Yeah, Matthew, like, there are some Stu clues throughout the entire franchise, not just the most recent movies, 5 and 6. In fact, I did a video on this. If anyone here doesn't know what I'm talking about, it's a video I put out several months ago, a long time ago at this point. I think it's called "What Has Stu Macher Been Doing for the Past 30 Years?" It's in my Stu Macher playlist, and I talk about some of the clues in the entire franchise for Stu being alive and possibly be working in the shadows of 2 and 3 and 4, as well as 5 and 6. Justin says, I've been wondering if Gale helped Stu escape and has been allowing him to run a Ghostface cult behind the scenes, then using the news of it to write books and make money. It sounds far-fetched, but with Gale, who knows? It is an interesting theory. I just don't see it happening. I feel like had Stu come back in Scream 3, like the original plan was, 25, 26 years ago at this point, I feel like it could have worked then. But Gale has just been around for too long. She's been, one of the good guys for too long. I feel like most fans would be very upset with this. But it is an interesting thought. What if Sam is Ghostface in Scream 7 and we don't know if they made a deal to bring her back but keeps it under wraps? Yeah, I've heard this theory before. I don't think that's the case. I feel like the whole drama, them firing her and everything like that, I feel like it was too serious of a topic to just like fake it, or like, I don't know. I don't see that being the case. Hey Francisco, I am doing well. Hope you are too. Stu could have gotten up, like Gale's camera from 1 could have recorded him getting up from that TV. I know, this is something we've talked about. Where's Gale's camera from the first movie? Which she set up underneath the TV. That's where she hid it. And then the TV fell on Stu. What happened to that camera? It would have fallen on the floor. If Stu gets up, hopefully it would capture him getting up. You would think that the police collected the camera as evidence, but if the Scream 6 shrine has all of this like evidence from the past movies, events of the past movies, where's the camera? Why wasn't it in evidence? I don't know. You guys know my theory about the police covering it up, spearheaded by Sheriff Burke, who could have been good friends with Stu's parents. Maybe he took the camera. Rather than giving it into evidence, he took it so that no one would see anything. I don't know. I am absolutely ready for Scream 7. Lloyd says, I'm happy with just one trailer. It showed me everything I needed. It's refreshing not knowing everything for once. We just need character posters. This is a good point. I do feel like oftentimes trailers spoil a lot, which was the case with Scream 5 and Scream 6. So, Scream 5's trailer, I'm pretty sure you could see the back of Richie's head when Sam is killing him. So not only did that spoil his death, but it kind of spoiled that he would be the killer, because why else would she be killing someone in the friend group, Scream 6, I don't know if it revealed anything as far as who the killers were, but in one of the trailers, we got almost that entire bodega scene. When Sam and Tara are in the bodega and Ghostface is there with the gunshot, the trailer literally showed the entire scene except for how they got away when they push the shelving over. The trailer showed the entire scene. Can you imagine seeing the bodega scene for the first time in that movie theater without having seen it in the trailer? My mind would have been blown by that. So yeah, I'm kind of with you. And at this point, we are so close to the release. I feel like I could make it through without another trailer, but I agree. We need posters. We need something. If anything, just give us a little teaser or give us a clip, give us a small snippet of one scene that doesn't really give anything away. Maybe it's just a little conversation between Sydney and her daughter, or a very little conversation between the friend group. Rather than a full-length trailer with a bunch of different scenes, just give us a little snippet of one scene. That would be cool. Oh yeah, I really enjoyed Weapons as well. That would definitely make it into my top 5 for 2025. Do I think Stu is really alive? Absolutely, 100%. Do I think his sister is the killer, or both? I think there's a good chance that Leslie Macher could be one of the killers. That's a dream scenario for me, honestly. I would love it if Anna Camp was revealed to be Leslie Macher and have them both be teaming up. But we shall see. But I definitely think Stu is alive, yes. Hey, Jacob Wells. Did I hear about the conformity gate for the extra Stranger Things scene? I did. And I think it's so funny. At first I didn't have any information about it, so I was thinking maybe it's a thing, maybe it's really happening. Yeah, I didn't know anything about the theory, so I was like, oh, that would be cool. And then after hearing about it a little bit, I was like, okay, this is just a made up fan theory, it's not happening. And then I would see so many posts about it that actually made a little bit of sense, that I was almost convincing myself, wait, it might actually be happening. But yeah, I don't think it's happening. And I bet the Duffer Brothers are kicking themselves for not having that idea to do that. After seeing how excited people are for it, they should have done it, honestly. Matthew says, I have a good theory on how Stu could have survived. Maybe he was brought back to life after clinically dying, since Kirby mentions in Scream 6 she was dead for 4 minutes and brought back to life. This is an amazing point, Matthew. Thank you for bringing it up. I do believe I talked about this in my 50 Stu Clues video, which at this point, that video is probably like 2 years old. That's crazy. Yeah, I think that Kirby saying that she technically died for 4 minutes and came back to life, I think it was very intentional. And it's so hard to explain. Back in 2012, shortly after Scream 4 came out, so long ago, we all thought Kirby was dead. That's the way it seems when you watch the movie without knowing in Scream 5, it seemed Kirby died in Scream 4. So back in 2012, someone tweeted at Wes Craven saying, "Is Kirby really dead?" And Wes Craven responded saying, "I don't think so. The last time we see her, she's moving." So, if that is one of Wes Craven's rules, that, the last time we see a character, they're moving, even though we're made to believe that they're dead, they're still alive. Stu, the last time we see Stu, we can see him breathing. It's very subtle. You have to pay close attention. But Stu's stomach is moving. He is breathing. And then the fact that, Kirby said she died but came back alive. Maybe the same thing happened with Stu, just like you said. And also, I would also like to bring up, a lot of people are like, give it a rest. Kevin Williamson said Stu is dead. Well, you know what else Kevin Williamson also said? He also said, I don't really know if he's dead or alive, because whenever I say or think characters are dead, I end up being wrong. And he was referring to Kirby. So there's just some kind of connection there with Kirby and Stu. So I am with you, Matthew. Scream Fanatic, welcome to the chat. I don't know if you are the channel that we were talking about earlier. We were talking about a theory video about Stu killing Jason and Greg. Someone in the chat, Brett, brought up your video. So I don't if you're the Scream Fanatic we were talking about. But either way, welcome to the stream. Thank you for your super chat. You said, what scene will Stu say this is going to be fun? That is a good question. I don't know. I would imagine it's after he reveals himself, takes the mask off, and after he reveals himself and we know it's him, see his face, but before the events of the final act actually go down, like before he actually starts killing people in the final act, I would imagine he is gonna look at Sydney or someone with this sinister look, this sinister smile, and say, "This is gonna be fun," and then go ahead with killing everyone. So either that, or we always bring up the whole AI theory. The Stu deniers think that Stu returning is only going to be an AI version of him. Now, I do think Stu will be alive for sure, but I think there's a chance they might try to fool us with AI in the first half of the movie, make us think, oh, this is the only reason Matthew Lillard is back. I guess Stu's dead. It's just AI. And then at the end, surprise, he's alive. But if they do have the AI version in the first half, maybe this quote is from the AI version. I don't know. But I like my first idea more. Thank you so much, Scream Fanatic, for your super chat. Happy to have you here. Let's see here. Oh wow, we've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. That is crazy. We're gonna go for a little bit longer. In the trailer, I saw a shot of Chad holding his stomach. He looks like he got stabbed. Maybe it's him. Interesting. I can't recall the part you're talking about. You know, it's funny. Like when the trailer first came out, October 30th, I watched it like so many times. But I actually haven't rewatched the trailer in a while. I could use another rewatch. Brett giving me another super chat. Thank you, Brett. Do you think Billy smile when Stu says watch a few movies, take a few notes? It is one of the most terrifying smiles ever. I don't know about one of the most terrifying ever, but he definitely has like that sinister look to him. But honestly, he's so good looking that I don't find it that terrifying. But yeah, there's definitely something sinister about him. Thank you, Brett, for all your super chats tonight. Let's see here. I never understood the relationship between Richie and Amber. Richie was 27 when Amber was 17. I know they're both psychopaths, but still. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty questionable. Like you said, though, they're psychopaths. You know, if you're willing to kill people, what does an age gap matter, or what does an underage relationship matter? If you're murdering everyone. But do we know for certain that Richie's 27? I mean, he definitely was still over 18. So either way, it's like inappropriate, but how do we know that he was 27? I feel like wasn't Sam like 23 or 25 in Scream 5? When's her birthday? We see her driver's license. Wasn't she born 95? Wait, no. Duh. Christina was pregnant in 96. So she was born 97? Yeah. May of 97. So what year does 5 take place? 2021 or 22? Yeah, so she is 25 in Scream 5. How do we know Richie's age, you know? What if he was also 25? Which, like I said, still inappropriate to be with a 17-year-old, but I'm just curious where you got the 27 from. Oh my goodness. JDev TV throwing out a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Seriously, this is so generous of you. I appreciate it. You said, what are you more passionate about, the Scream franchise or all Dexter seasons? Just trying to help get to the super chat goal and pay the bills at Sistapam headquarters. Thank you so much. Seriously, so kind of you. So the goal is actually over. The goal ended. There was a 1 hour time limit, but we're doing the goal anyway because the prize for the goal was an extra 30 minutes on top of the hour. And we are already about to be at an extra 30 minutes. So even though we technically didn't hit the super chat goal, you guys have been great tonight. So we're going longer than expected anyway. But I seriously, I still appreciate you. What are you more passionate about, Scream franchise or all Dexter seasons? That is a good question. And sometimes I find myself asking myself that question. I do think the Scream franchise I'm more passionate about, I'm more obsessed with. But it's interesting, like, I do kind of go through phases, you know. After Scream 6's release, I was so obsessed with the Scream franchise. And leading up until Dexter's return, you know, not this past December, but December of 2024 was when the Dexter prequel came out. So that reignited my obsession with Dexter. And then also knowing that Dexter Resurrection was going to come out in the summertime, that kind of just got me obsessed with Dexter again. After New Blood ended 3 years ago, right? At this point, or 4 years ago, I think. So then this past summer, when Dexter Resurrection was airing every week and we had no Scream 7 updates or anything like that, at that time, I was definitely more passionate about Dexter. But, now Resurrection is over. We're back with Scream 7. So right now, I'm definitely more passionate about the Scream franchise compared to Dexter, although I'm still thinking about Dexter because I'm currently rewatching all the seasons and looking forward to season 2, which starts filming in April. So both of those obsessions right now are kind of battling each other in my mind. But I think if I had to pick one, it would be Scream. Like, if I had to pick one franchise, the Scream franchise or the Dexter franchise, only one to be able to watch for the rest of my life and not be able to watch the other one, I think I'd rather watch the Scream movies. The idea of not being able to watch Dexter ever again pains me, but I think I'd rather watch the Scream franchise. That is my true passion. I clearly have all of these ghost faces behind me, as well as my cup next to me right here. And I don't have any Dexter merch, actually, which is interesting. I should get some. But yeah, gotta go Scream. Thank you so much, JDev, for your super chat. Super generous of you. I appreciate you being here, supporting the channel. We have a couple more super chats. Another one from Zork. Thank you. I'm working on the entire life of Zork necro something. I don't know how to say that. Yu-Gi-Oh's most powerful villain video. Hoping to get the actual voice actor to cameo for me. That's amazing. That would be amazing if you could get that to happen. How are you going to contact them? That would be so cool. Also, I've never seen wait, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that a TV show? Like, I know growing up there was, like, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Is that, like, based on a TV show? I'm not very familiar, but that would be very cool if you could get the voice actor. Keep me updated, let me know. Thank you, Zork. Appreciate you. Oh my goodness, we have Marcus in the house from I Shot Him 6 Times. In case anyone here doesn't know Marcus, go subscribe to his channel. I'm sure a lot of you here do know him already, but he has a great horror channel where he has a lot of great Scream theories, but he also talks about some other horror movies as well. So if you're a horror fan, subscribe. He is a great friend of the channel, and we are going to be collabing soon, Marcus. We got to make it happen. I know Jordan wants to as well. Like I said, you and I talked recently. Now that the holidays are over, leading up to Scream 7, we got to do something. I was thinking about streaming this Sunday, so I'll send a message to you and Jordan to see if either of you are possibly free this coming Sunday. But you are throwing out a $10 super chat. Super generous. Thank you so much. You said I'm leaning more towards Jill returning. Oh my goodness. The fact this killer is using Tatum as a way to hurt Sid ties into the family ties cut deep line in 4. Also, 2026 is the 15-year anniversary of Scream 4. Interesting. I am all for the return of Jill. I would absolutely love that. But when you say I'm leaning more towards Jill returning, do you mean like over Stu? Because that's crazy. I'm leaning more towards Stu just because the Easter eggs have been there, you know, all throughout 5 and all throughout 6. As far as I know, there's not really any Jill Easter eggs. Maybe there is. But even if there is some Jill Easter eggs, there's got to be way more Stu clues. But I mean, yeah, I could see that being the case, you know, like you said, the whole family ties cut deep line. But I don't know. If I have to pick one between Stu or Jill, I'm picking Stu every time. I'll take the pair of them. I would love for Stu and Jill to team up as a duo to taunt Sydney. But I don't know. What do you mean you're leaning more towards Jill? You gotta manifest Stu. Thank you so much, Marcus, for your super chat. Super generous. Thanks for being here, stopping by. Like I said, we have to collab soon. We definitely will. At least once before the release of Scream 7 and at least once after the release to talk spoilers for sure. We have J Dev signed up to be a channel member. Thank you so much, J Dev. I seriously appreciate you. This is another way to support the channel. If anyone else is interested in becoming a channel member, I don't really like advertise it that much or talk about it that much. But you can sign up to be a channel member, which, like I said, supports the channel. And you do get a few perks like some exclusive content that not every one of my viewers can see. You have to be a channel member to see those videos. And you also get access to Scream emojis. So JDev, you now in the live stream chat can use those Scream emojis. I have a Billy emoji, Stu, Jill, Randy, Dewey, Sydney. quite a few. A Ghostface one. So that's fun. But yeah, most of all, it really just is a way to keep supporting the channel. So I appreciate you, JDev, seriously. And if anyone else wants to sign up, the link should be down below in the description of this live stream. But also, I think if you click the $sign next to where you leave a comment, yeah, so like the $sign that you would click on to submit a super chat, there's also the option for the membership. So if anyone's interested, but thank you so much. Hi, Shane. $500 for one night? You know, that's not that bad, honestly, because one night in a plain old boring hotel could be that much. So to stay in the MACHER house for 500, I would do that. J-Rod is here. Oh my god, I realize I'm so behind in the chat. J-Rod, you left this comment like almost an hour ago or 40 minutes ago. I apologize. Like, it is so hard to keep up with the chat in these live streams. I wish I could get to everyone, but you know, a super chat is the way to guarantee I see your comment. If it's like a pressing question or a theory you want to make sure gets talked about. You said, but spoiling a whole movie on the day it comes out is all the rage. I cannot stand when people do that. I think there is a special place in hell for people who spoil movies on opening day or even like the first week or longer than that, to be honest. But okay, listen, definitely opening day, you should not do it. But when it comes to like a week later, I still personally would not spoil. I would give a spoiler warning. But at the same time, I do kind of see both sides, because it's like, if I care that much to not be spoiled, I either need to get my butt out to go see that movie immediately or stay off social media, you know? And that is what I do. If I care that much and don't want to be spoiled and I don't have some free time to go see the movie, I will not scroll on social media until I can go see the movie, which sucks that I have to do that. But at the same time, I can't control everyone else who wants to spoil things. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of spoilers. Thank you, Rainbow Sprinkles. I appreciate you. Oh, thank you, Shane. You guys are so sweet. Oh, wow. We have another new member, Terror Cut Studios. I appreciate you for signing up. I forgot to mention, another perk of channel members is you get a little shout out at the end of all of my videos that I post. You know, I have like everyone's channel names or usernames displayed. So that is just another little perk of being a channel member. I appreciate you, Terra Cut Studios. And now you can use those fun scream emojis in the chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. Oh my goodness. Marcus throwing out another $20. Seriously, like, this is so generous of you. You said, well, I'm 50-50 on both returning. I'm high on Jill because if Stu is only going to be AI like it's rumored, it would make sense for Jill to be using AI Stu as a misdirection. Her background creating videos in 4 makes it possible. That is very interesting. I think I'm trying to gather my thoughts. Here's the thing. So, like you said, Stu returning, Stu being just AI is this popular theory and rumor going around. And we know how divisive the whole thing is with Stu being alive. You know, there's people who love the idea and there's people who hate the idea. I feel like there's not a lot of in between. You either love it or you hate it. And no matter what they choose with Stu, whether he comes back alive or not, one side is going to be pissed off. So, but I think to have all this talk about Stu possibly being alive and to have it not be true, but to rather bring back a different Ghostface instead, I feel like that would piss off a lot of people. But then again, I'm working through this as I'm talking about it. I just got another thought that would kind of be a good twist because it's like, yeah, people are expecting Stu to come back alive. So in a way, it's not really a surprise if you're expecting it. But imagine they're like, oh, just kidding, it's Jill. I would lose my mind at that, you know? So it is an interesting theory. Listen, I would be happy to have Jill back. So that would be interesting to see, but I would much prefer Stu. So I would be a little disappointed if it was Jill rather than Stu. But I think as time goes on and I have to live with it for a little bit, I would be like, okay, you know what? I'll take Jill. I love Jill. I don't know. As long as they whatever they end up doing, as long as it's done well, I can't really be mad, can I? As long as it's all done well, right? Thank you so much, Marcus. Seriously. Your 2 super chats were super generous. And I always appreciate you being here. We have one more new channel member with Scream Fanatic. Thank you so much. Seriously, you guys, I appreciate you. I really the continued support on the channel just makes me feel so good and like it makes me wanna it motivates me to keep up with this and make more videos and do more live streams. Like I said, I'm thinking about doing a live stream this coming Sunday, so stay tuned for that. Look out for that. We're definitely going to do several leading up to Scream 7. So if not Sunday, it'll be another day. But I would like to do this Sunday, to do it earlier in the day, like in the afternoon, Eastern time. Just because I know I have viewers from like all over the world, so living in different time zones and whatnot. So sometimes, but with my day job, during the week I have to do these live streams late at night or later in the evening. But then I have people who, for them, it's like the middle of the night, like 2 a.m. or whatever. So they request me to do earlier streams, but Monday through Friday, I really can't. So if I want to do an earlier stream, it has to be on the weekend. And I can't do it Saturday. So I think Sunday's going to have to be the time. Big Brisk says, started watching around Dexter Resurrection. Glad I came across the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Rainbow Sprinkle says, I get the time editing provides. I'm not a content guy with the videos I have edited take forever. Yeah, it is a lot of work. It is, but I love to do it. It's just sometimes I can't find the time, you know? Yeah, internet will always come with some negative energy. Very true, but for the most part, all you guys here, all of you guys that are here right now are always positive and nice, but you know, in my comment sections on my other videos, sometimes occasionally I'll get a negative person, but for the most part, it's pretty positive. Marcus, back with another super chat. Now I personally think Stu won't be AI and will be alive, but I don't think he's revealed until 8. Interesting. I think 7 and 8 are adopting the TV show approach. Yeah, I could see that happening. And I don't hate the idea. The thing is, you know, I don't want to have to wait even longer to see Stu come back. We've been waiting since Scream 5's release with the Easter eggs. You know, a lot of people have been waiting even longer than that. You know, longtime fans since like Scream 3 with the original Stu plan. But, you know, if we're just focusing on the newer movies with the Stu clues, we've been waiting since Scream 5. So, which is what, almost 4 years ago, right? Didn't it come out in January? So that's a long time. And to have to wait even longer for Scream 8 would kill me. But of course, I'll take that over nothing. Like, I'd rather have to wait till Scream 8 for him than to never get him ever. But I feel I would be happy as long as the end of Scream 7 gives us a little something to let us know that he's at least definitely going to be in 8, which I think could be the case just because we know that Matthew Lillard is in the movie. So, you know, maybe they are just going to set it up and really not give him us until 8. I've brought this up before. Like, I would love something like, what is it? The end of The Dark Knight or Batman Begins, whatever the first one in that Christopher Nolan trilogy is. I think it's called Batman Begins, right? At the end, the movie ends with the Joker leaving the calling card, so we know that he's going to be the villain in the next one. So I would love something like that in 7 to at least let us know that he's definitely going to be in 8. And I do think it would just be something new and exciting for the Scream franchise. They've never done something like that before. You know, that whole concept isn't a new thing for movies in general or TV shows like you're saying. But for the Scream franchise, it would be new. And I think that would be pretty exciting. You know, we're 7 movies in. We got to change it up. We can't just keep following the same exact formula. Like, yeah, we want to have the basic formula be the same, but like, let's change it up a little bit, you know. So yeah, that would be cool. Thank you, Marcus, for all your super chats. Thank you, Donovan. That is very nice of you. Dusty said, I feel like Matthew is too happy to be back just to be dead, if that makes sense. Yes, I agree with you. I have said this. Matthew Lillard has been so adamant about Stu being alive for literal decades. And he is so happy to be back that I feel like he has to be alive. You know, like if he was just a flashback, if he's just AI, would he come back if that was the case? Just because of how vocal he's been about Stu being alive? I don't know. To be honest, I do think he would still come back. If he got the call and said, "We want you for just a dream sequence, like Sydney has a dream of you. You're not actually alive. It's just a fake version of you. Do you want to come back?" I would like to think that he wouldn't, just because he wants to come back alive. But when I think about it, I do think Matthew Lillard would still say yes to that. Just because it's work for him. You know, he always says at these conventions that as an actor, you know, you're kind of struggling to get the next job and you just want to put food on the table for your family. And he's having this like resurgence lately that I feel like him being in the movie, no matter how he comes back, would only benefit his career. So I do feel like he would say yes to coming back, even if his character isn't alive. However, I do think he is like very happy about it. And the fact that he has said multiple times that he is terrified of ruining his legacy, I think that is important because, you know, let's say it was just a nightmare of Sydney's. I don't think that would ruin the legacy in any way. That can't possibly mess up what he did in the first movie. But now if he comes back alive and it's not written well or it's not performed well, could it potentially ruin his legacy? Yeah, I suppose. So I get where you're coming from, Dusty. Shane says Stu has definitely been killing from 1 to 6. I hope so. Scream Fanatic says I hated that I Know What You Did Last Summer twist. Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna say what it was just in case anyone here hasn't seen it yet, even though it's been out for a while, so at this point you should have seen it. I get where you're coming from. I kind of like it. I kind of like that they did that. I think it was ballsy, and not a lot of movies these days take big risks, and I kind of liked it. But I totally get why you don't. So, no judgment. Let's see. We're gonna go for just a little bit longer. We have been going for just about 2 hours, which is crazy. Time flies when you're having fun. I'm starting to feel like there won't be Stu and lots of disappointment. No, we can't have that mentality. We gotta stay positive and manifest. Brett with another super chat. Thank you. I forget. Have you seen the Smile movies? I have. Yes, I enjoy those movies. I don't know which one I like more. I know a lot of people think Smile 2 was better than the first one. I feel like I need to do a rewatch of them both to truly judge. But yeah, I enjoyed both of them. Thank you, Brett, for your super chat. And we have one more new channel member with Cassandra. Thank you so much. Seriously, I appreciate it. Definitely helps out the channel. We got quite a few new members tonight. 4 new channel members. So now my next video that I post, I don't know when that's going to be, but all of you guys should be on the lookout for your name at the end of my videos. And like I said, you can use the scream emojis in this live chat right now or in the comment section on all of my other videos. So that's just a fun little bonus. But thank you guys. Let's see, where are we at with this poll? Oh my goodness. Okay, when I go and check on YouTube, because I live stream on StreamYard, but to do the poll, I need to go to YouTube and it like glitches. And oh, I see I see Cassandra in the chat using the stew emoji now. Nice. Okay, it looks like we have 94 votes in the poll. And Mindy seems to be the one who you all think is more likely to die out of the Meeks twins. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Hey, Denisha. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're still here because I realize your comment was so long ago. Like I said, it's so hard to keep up with the chat. I wish I could. But thank you for being here. Screen Fanatic says Matthew did ADR, so there's no chance he will be AI. Yeah, I know. I talked about that in a video. But you never know. I agree with you. I do. But you know, what if let's say he is just an AI version in the movie, God forbid. You know, they're still using his actual voice, so maybe he would have to do ADR for that. You never know, but I do agree with you. It just gives me the sense that he is playing a bigger role in this movie. And like I've said a million times, Stu's house is featured throughout the entire trailer. Maybe not the entire trailer, but a good portion of the trailer. And it's on the poster. The one poster that we've gotten so far, his house is on the poster. Like, come on. Like, there's no way that he's just playing an insignificant role. Like, why, you know, why is Stu's house being brought back in these new movies all the time? Scream 5, we went back to his house. I don't know. It's interesting to me. When do we reckon we'll get a new trailer? The marketing has been too quiet for our liking. I don't know. I'm thinking there's only 7 weeks left. Maybe next week when there's only 6 weeks left. I mean, we gotta get to it. If not this month, I feel like the absolute latest has to be the first week of February. If it doesn't happen by the first week of February, I don't think it's happening. But I don't know. But I agree, the marketing has been quiet. You know, the fact that even like Nev Campbell hasn't made a post about it, I just think is an interesting choice. And I was saying earlier in the stream, I don't think we have to worry about how this movie's going to perform. I still think it's going to perform well. But don't you want to still market the movie and like guarantee that people are gonna know about it. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know. I wish I had the answers. Hopefully we get something soon. Brett is coming through with another super chat. I appreciate you. And you said, do you think Hard Eyes should get a sequel? No, I don't. I feel like I heard recently that it is getting a sequel. I think I saw that on Twitter. I really did not like the first one. I thought it was a terrible movie. I enjoyed certain aspects of it, like, Mason Gooding and Olivia Holt. I think they were good in it. Like, their acting was good. That wasn't the issue. It was like the reveal I hated. I didn't really care about any of the characters much, and that's what I want most from a movie. I want to get attached to these characters and care about them. And I didn't have any of that. The reveal was just absolutely terrible, and when it comes to a whodunit, that is the whole point of the movie. And I think it was terrible. I don't think it should get a sequel, but then again, maybe it should, to kind of try to redeem the first one. I don't know. I mean, I love slasher movies. That's my favorite genre of horror movies. So, I don't know. All I can say is I hope the second one is better than the first one, because I really did not enjoy it. Thank you, Brett. And we have another one from Marcus. Did you see the clip posted by Paramount UK this morning? If not, watch it. There's 2 clues that stand out in regards to direction and possible twist. What are you talking about? What clips? Is this on Paramount UK Instagram, Twitter? Let me know in the chat real quick and I'll see your comment. Paramount UK. Let's see. YouTube. You posted it on your channel. Let's see. I need to know what you're talking about. Where did you just go to my channel? The link is there. Oh, in your community. Oh, I see it.
Swap that red cloak for a
black what?
And we can talk. Dear secret traitor.
Interesting. Huh.
Dear secret traitor.
Okay, I have a thought. So, red cloak. My first thought is Stu's robe. Is that what you're thinking, Marcus? Because that was my first thought. But then my next thought was, you know, they talk about a secret traitor. Is that like, you know, like the whole Paul Revere thing, like the redcoats are coming. Is that what that could be referencing? I don't know. But my first thought was Stu's red cloak from the first movie. And what did you say? How many clues you think? 2 clues that stand out. Huh. Also, like, why, you know, why is this being posted to Paramount UK? And why is this not on? Oh, Gail wears red. You know, why is this video not being posted to like the main Paramount account? Why is, you know, Kevin Williamson not sharing it? And this is what I mean when I say like Scream 7, because someone earlier in the chat was saying we don't need a second trailer. They kind of like it without revealing too much and just having the first trailer. But this is what I mean when they could still market the movie with little teasers like this or little clips. It doesn't have to be a full-length trailer to possibly spoil things. It could just be something like this. So why is this not being shared on the main Paramount accounts and stuff like that? Or was it and I just missed it because I was at work all day since early morning. So, you know, what? Apparently overseas has been getting clips of the second trailer all day. Germany posted what? Well, where can we watch this? Marcus, if you ever get like any sort of clip or anything, DM it to me, please. This is interesting. I don't know, you guys. That's kind of crazy. Do you think it's a higher chance that it can be 2 female ghost faces this time? Yeah, sort of, just because it's never been done before. You know, we've obviously had female ghost faces before, but never more than one teaming up with each other. So I feel like it's a good possibility just because we're 7 movies in. It's never been done before. But also the fact that I do think, you know, we're going to get Stu's cult. So we're going to have, I think we're going to have the most ghost faces we've ever had. Obviously, Scream 6, we had 3, which was the most we ever had up until now. I feel like with the cult, we're probably going to get more. I think the cult is going to be pretty massive. And I've said a million times, I don't think that necessarily means we're going to get to meet all of these cult members or spend a lot of time with all of them. There's just not enough time in the movie to get to know 20 cult members, you know what I mean? So if anything, I think we might focus on like 4 of them. And maybe two of them will be girls, you know? Because we've just never had more than one girl in a group of ghost faces. So if Stu is revealed alive, I'm running to the theater bathroom and screaming for Stephen. Yeah, I mean, if it happens, he's going to be the first one that I think about, seriously. This movie is getting underpromoted. I agree. I don't know why. We went back to his house and he's getting so many references and name drops, even more than Billy, it feels. I agree with you, Scream Fanatic. There's so many Stu Easter eggs. What is it all for if not to bring him back alive? And Matthew Lillard even said that himself over the past couple of years. He was like, I think Stu's alive, and they bring him up a lot. And yeah, I mean, in 5 and 6, we literally had the main character being Billy's daughter, yet there were still so many more Stu Easter eggs. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty fired up now too. You guys, I want to keep streaming for a little bit more. But Marcus, like I said, we gotta work something out. Maybe this Sunday. If you're free, let me know. She did wear red in Scream 5. So we all know that Gail wears like a new color every movie, So I did find it interesting that in the trailer for 6, or no, sorry, the trailer for 7, she's wearing a red jacket again. Why would they do that? She hasn't worn orange yet. Why didn't they put her in an orange jacket? Especially because, the movie takes place during the fall. Orange is a fall color. Why did they choose to repeat the red jacket? I don't know. I'm not saying that necessarily means anything. But it's an interesting choice. Maybe it's the exact same jacket from 5. And maybe she's only wearing it again for sentimental purposes, because it is what she was wearing the last time she ever spoke to Dewey. So maybe that's the only reason they put her in it again for 7. But I want to see her in a new color, That's part of the fun of a new Scream movie, seeing what color they're finally going to put her in that we haven't seen yet. We've seen green, yellow, purple, red, blue. We could use an orange one, or like a different shade of green. I don't know. Do you think that Detective Bailey was the ghost face in the bodega or Ethan? So I think it was Bailey. Out of those 2 options, I do think it was Bailey. However, I have a theory on my channel from a long time ago, probably 2 years ago at this point, about a possible secret fourth Ghostface in Scream 6, and that the bodega Ghostface would have been this secret fourth Ghostface. And I do believe I got this theory from Steven from Craven Something Scary. He first posted about it, I think, pointing out the time of the crimes that were written on the police board. It just doesn't make sense for it to be Bailey, because he had just been at Jason's apartment on the phone with Sam. How did he get to the bodega in time and put on the costume? Ethan was just at the apartment with Sam and Tara, so there's no way he could have snuck past them to beat them to the bodega. So really, I think it was a secret fourth Ghostface, which could have been Danny. I was really hoping Danny was a secret Ghostface, part of Stu's cult. I see Scotty said that. Whatchamacallit? I'm really bummed that Danny's not going to be back for 7. That sucks. I loved him. I truly loved his character, which is so rare these days. There's rarely a new character that I feel like passionate about. And I also feel bad for Josh Segura, however you say his last name, because he was so excited to be in Scream 7. This was shortly after 6 came out, before 7 was even confirmed to be in the works, and definitely before Melissa was fired. So this was when we thought Melissa would move on to be in 7, but 7 still hadn't been confirmed yet. Josh Segura, in an interview, was like, your boy's coming back for 7. So he was so excited to be in it. And now, once Melissa was fired, I'm sure he didn't even get a phone call at all, you know? Brett says, wasn't Danny also in the apartment? He was, but they kicked him out early. If you remember, I think Chad kicked him out and was like, something like, bye, new guy, or, you know, he got kicked out early. I think he got kicked out before Sam even got the phone call from Bailey. So he had plenty of time to walk down a couple blocks, put on the costume, and hide in the bushes or whatever. Yeah, Chad said, bye, suspicious new guy. Yeah, so he left early. So I think timeline-wise, it makes more sense for it to be Danny than Bailey or Ethan. I don't know. Radio Silence said the actor who played Danny had potential to be Ghostface. Because when they were testing to be the villain, he was great, but they liked him so much they made him Danny. Yeah, I think I heard that as well. Which is so annoying, because it's like, if you have someone who does an audition essentially to be Ghostface and they freaking kill it and they do so good, why are you not giving them the role of Ghostface and giving us Ethan and Quinn? Like, come on. Oh my god, that pisses me off. We have not had, in my opinion, I don't think we've had a truly intimidating Ghostface since Billy. You know, Billy just has this like intimidating factor to him, and I don't think anyone has compared since. And I think Danny could have been that. I also think Vince in Scream 5 could have been that, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I don't know. Like, my whole thing with Danny when, when we still thought him and Sam were going to be in Scream 7, I think it would have been so great to reveal Danny as Ghostface in Scream 7, because that is also something that has never been done before, where one of the good guys isn't revealed until the next movie. They get away with it, and we go the whole movie thinking they're a good guy, because the movie's over. They weren't revealed. They're a good guy. But then imagine how crazy the twist would be in the following movie to find out they were one of the bad guys all along. So I do feel like if Danny had gone on to be in Scream 7, there's a chance they would have revealed that, of him being a bad guy all along. And in Stumacher's cult, that is another video that I did on the channel about Danny being in Stu's cult. Guys, I have so many so many theory videos in my Stumacher playlist and my Scream Theories playlist. So if you are curious about any of them, if you haven't seen them, or if it's been a while since you've seen them and you want a refresher, after the stream is over or tomorrow or whatever, check out my Scream playlist, please, because some of those videos, I think the theories are very good, and they took a lot of time and effort for me to create them. And what kind of sucks about YouTube is it's like I put out this video that I'm proud of, but then it kind of just gets lost in all of the other videos. I keep putting out new videos, so that one good video that I put out 2 years ago is now just forgotten about and lost in a sea of videos. So please check them out, give them a rewatch, send them to a friend who might not have seen them before. It helps out the channel, and I just really appreciate it. The bodega happened before Annika died. Hey, Ryan. Glad to see you here. Let's see. Do we have any super chats? Yes, we do. One from Will Miser. Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you. You said a long time no stream. I know it's been a while, but holiday season got crazy, but now we are back 7 weeks away from Scream 7, so several more streams to come. You said you talked me into watching Dexter, then vanished. That's funny. I apologize. But we're back. How far did you make it in Dexter? Did you watch the whole show? If not, what season are you on? What do you think so far? If you finished the original show, did you watch the other shows that came out? The prequel, New Blood, Resurrection? Let me know. Thank you for your super chat, Will Miser. Yes, Danny talking about family to Sam. Could family be a reference to the cult? Possibly, yes. I'm glad you brought this up, Scotty, because this is something that I've talked about in some of my Danny theory videos. The fact that Danny says family can be rough, and he kind of looks down suspiciously, kind of avoids eye contact, I feel like. And then Chad comes running down the stairs. So that line, they move on from it so quickly, and I feel like it gets overlooked. Who is Danny's family? What do you mean family can be rough? I feel like in these movies, in the Scream franchise, most things that are said, most dialogue has meaning. It's never just not for nothing. I don't know. I agree. That is pretty Suspicious. What if they both make it out of 7? Are you referring to the Meeks twins? I don't know. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. We'll never find out, but what if Danny helped in the attack on Gail? Maybe Danny was the one who threw Gail's new boyfriend through the window. Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting when Danny shows up after Gail's attack. And Tara kind of calls him out for being suspicious, like, which Tara calls him out a couple of times in the movie. Another time is on the subway. But after Gail's attack, Danny comes running in. He says, I got here as fast as I could. And Tara says, did you? So she's calling him out a little bit. And on top of that, something else that I've noticed that I'm pretty sure I pointed this out 2 years ago on the channel. When Danny shows up, comes in running, go back and watch. Look at the way Ethan looks at him. It's an interesting look. It's almost like they're working together and Ethan's maybe surprised to see him show up, or he's wondering where he was. And it reminds me of a similar scenario in Scream 5 with Richie, Ethan's brother, when they're in the hospital, and they're in the hospital right before Dewey's death. And Dewey shoots Ghostface. And Ghostface is on the floor. And Sam, Tara, and Richie are walking to the elevator. Richie kind of looks back and looks at Ghostface on the floor and gives this look like, oh shit, my partner, that wasn't part of the plan. My partner just got shot or whatever. You know, I don't know. All I'm saying, it's an interesting look that Ethan gives Danny in Scream 6 when Danny comes running. Like there might be something more to the look that he's giving. Let's see. Will Miser with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You said I'm still on season 1. What? I remember why I quit watching it before. I don't like the delivery of Dexter's narration. I'm loving the show aside from that. Be honest, Dokes is comic relief, isn't he? Yeah, Dokes is definitely comic relief. Like I'm rewatching it now, and every scene that Dokes is in, I find myself laughing. He's a great character. But man, I'm sad to hear that. I love Dexter's narration. I think that is honestly what makes the show so good, you know, to know what's going on inside of his head as a serial killer, but killing for the greater good in a sense. I like the delivery. I guess I understand where you're coming from, but I just love it. I love Michael C. Hall. I love everything about it. But keep watching. I'm surprised you're still on season 1 if you started so long ago, just because for me, the show is so addicting that when you finish one episode, you got to watch the next one, and you keep telling yourself, just one more episode, just one more episode. And next thing you know, you're up until 4 a.m. watching Dexter, and you've watched like 2 seasons in like a day. But yeah, keep with it, Will Miser, and continue to let me know your thoughts. And I mean, this new season, Dexter Resurrection, that just came out this past summer, is honestly some of the best TV I have ever seen in my entire life. So you gotta stick with it. But thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you. You forget about Mickey being a menacing ghost face. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. There is something sick and twisted about him, but just nothing can compare to Billy and Stu, in my opinion. In my opinion, Mickey almost tops Billy as the scariest Ghostface because Mickey actually was a killer beforehand. That is a good point. But no, he doesn't top it for me. What streaming platform can we watch Scream movies on? I believe they are all on Paramount Plus right now. I think 1 through 6 are there. Not positive, but I'm pretty sure. Amber was scary. I disagree. I don't think she was scary. I think if anything, she was funny. I've said before, when Scream 5 first came out, I really was not a fan of Amber, like, at all. Richie, not that much either. But every time I rewatch Scream 5, they kind of grow on me more and more. I appreciate them a little bit more. And especially after that reveal in Scream 6, which I hated. I hated the reveal in Scream 6. Yeah, Amber and Richie were definitely better. But I still don't think Amber was scary. She's grown on me and I like her a little bit more, but I don't think, in my opinion, she wasn't scary. Brett says, I think Quinn was definitely more intimidating than Ethan. I do agree. Yeah. Yeah. Ethan is my least favorite Ghostface ever in general. I even like Jason more than Ethan. Ethan sucks. The new Dexter show is pretty good, much better than New Blood. Totally agree. 1,000 times better than New Blood. Marcus, with another super chat, says, I now think Richie gave that look in 5 because he knew that wasn't Amber. He would have known she was wearing a vest. So there's no reason for concern. Interesting. Yeah, you're right, actually. That is a really good point that I've never thought of. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that was Amber. I think it was Stu. But I never looked at it that way with Richie's look. Like, why would he be concerned if he knew Amber was wearing a vest? That is a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. Might have to throw that in to some kind of video. Let me write that down. That is a good point. See, that is what I love about talking with all of you guys and rewatching the movies. Like, there's just always something new to discover, to pick up on, to look at things from a different angle. Even after watching something 20 times and coming to the same conclusion every time, you can see it in a new light and pick up on something new. It honestly makes me feel like a detective. Like, how detectives, when they're going over a case, it's like they're trying to look at everything from every angle, and then they make a break in the case and realize something that didn't click before. And so deciphering these movies makes me feel like a freaking detective, and I love it. Thank you, Marcus, for pointing this out and for the super chat and all of your super chats tonight. Hey, Popcorn Bunny. Glad you could make it. We've been streaming for quite some time tonight, and I still want to go for a little bit longer. I don't know how much longer, though. 2 hours and 36 minutes. This might be my longest stream yet. That's so crazy. And it's like, you know, I worked all day today, so when I came on here, I was tired. To be honest, I almost didn't even want to stream because I'm like, I'm so tired. I just want to get into bed. And then I was like, okay, just do it. You'll have fun. Just do it for an hour. And here I am, almost 3 hours later. I didn't trust Danny when I first saw him. Even Chad was suspicious. Yeah. Danny was such a good character, man. Like he was so funny and just charming, and I don't know. Exactly, Ryan. Stu killed Gail's boyfriend because he tells Gail how fitting this is your first one-on-one talk with the Ghostface. How would Danny know that? Gail never talked to Ghostface. Yeah, this is definitely something I've talked about in videos and live streams and stuff. I definitely think Stu is the one who killed Brooks, attacked Gail. There's just a lot of Stu clues in that scene alone. One of them being something that Marcus pointed out on his channel. Marcus from I Shot Him 6 Times. The Woodsboro phone number that called Gail. That is insane. Marcus, I will never forget the first time I watched that video of yours. That absolutely blew my mind. That might be the greatest catch ever. That's insane. That's actually insane to think about. And it kills me that to think that not a lot of people out there know about that, the Woodsboro number calling Gail. You know, like you know, us here, we're like crazy obsessed fans. So we dissect these movies and then we share the theories with each other, and all of us in this little community, we talk about it pretty frequently. We bring up the same theories a lot, so it's like in our brain. But the casual viewer out there who might love these movies and still be obsessed with the movies, they're not, even though they're obsessed, they're not deciphering it and analyzing it the way that we are. So how many people out there are going to pick up on the fact that Amber and Wes both had a 707 area code in Scream 5, and then a 707 area code calls Gail in Scream 6? Like Marcus, you might have been the only person out there in the world who picked up on that. I don't know. That's crazy. Kyle Butler says, I'm going to watch all 6 movies this weekend. Yeah, I'm going to need to do a rewatch of all 6 movies before the 7th one comes out. And I don't know how I want to do it. I don't know if I considered doing watch parties on the channel, like maybe one movie a week leading up till 7. But I honestly might want to wait to do the watch parties on here until after the release, leading up to the digital release, so that we can watch 1 through 6 together and 7 together once the digital release happens. So I might want to do the rewatches before the movie on my own, just so that I can really pay attention and absorb it. Just because when I do the watch parties, I am a little distracted, like, having to talk to you guys. I miss out on some things in the movie. So I kind of just might want to do my initial rewatch on my own to really pay attention and absorb it fully. But if I do them on my own, I don't know if I want to like binge watch all 6 in a weekend, like you said, or space them out one a week. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm excited to do my rewatch. And I don't know if I want to rewatch them only once or do multiple rewatches leading up to 7. I don't know. It's hard to fit them in to my schedule, but we'll see. What if Kirby is a secret Ghostface member? It's a possibility. It's also something I've talked about in past videos. I think if you go back and watch my theories on it, I think there are clues that can help it make a lot of sense. I personally would like this to happen. I feel like it would piss off a lot of people. But I think it would be good. But will they do it? I don't know. I don't think they have the balls to do it, to be honest. I have seen Companion. I love that movie. I think Jack Quaid was great, like you said. And I also love Sophie Thatcher. She is a great actress. Did Ghostface ever scare you when you first saw the movie? No. I remember watching Scream as a kid. Wasn't scary to me. See, here's the thing. Like I said earlier, I love slashers, and they're my favorite. Slashers is my favorite genre of horror movies, but I don't really ever find them scary. So I don't know. I just enjoy them. But yeah, Ghostface never scared me. Honestly, I really only get scared at like demonic horror movies. I don't ever find slashers actually scary. Scary Has YouTube is here. Thank you for stopping by. It has been a while. We have been streaming for quite some time tonight. I do think I'm gonna start to slowly wrap up. Hi, Alexandra. Or Alexandrad. Hope I'm saying that right. Yes, Matthew. Thank you for bringing this up. This is another thing I've talked about extensively on the channel in past videos. I believe I first brought it up in my 50 Stew Clues video, and then I did do a separate video on just that. In case there's anyone new here and doesn't know what we're talking about, or in case you do know what we're talking about and just want a refresh, in the Scream 6 Shrine, there are all these sketches of, past characters, and one of them is of Principal Hembry in the first movie. The principal, played by Henry Winkler, who gets killed in the first movie. There is, actually, you brought up Dewey. That's another good point. But let me So, okay, Principal Himbry, there's a sketch for him. And the sketch of Himbry is drawn exactly how he was dead in the first movie on the floor of his office. If Richie drew those sketches like we're made to believe, how the hell would he know what that looked like? Only someone who was there for Himbry's death would know, because his body was moved to the goalpost on the football field. So it's not even like the police found Himbry dead on the floor of his office to take, crime scene photos that would then go into evidence where Richie could possibly find the photos and sketch from the photo. Those crime scene photos don't exist because Principal Himbry's body was moved to the football field. So either that is a major Stu clue, because Stu was there when Himbry died to see the body, or it's just a major plot hole. And if that's a plot hole, that is so upsetting to me. Because even within that sketch of Principal Himbry, they also show him hanging from the goalpost. So when they were writing Scream 6 and they were making up that sketch of Himbry dead on the floor in the office and dead hanging from the goalpost, did no one think like, hey, wait a minute, how would Richie know to draw this exactly to a T of how it was? I don't know. And same thing with like Dewey's death. Dewey was drawn, right? How would Richie have time to draw that? Because after Dewey's death, we like immediately go into the final act. Where did he find the time to sketch Dewey? I don't know. Doesn't seem plausible to me. Thank you, Marcus. Seriously. I appreciate you. I also love our community. Seriously. Like sometimes, I disappear for a little bit because life gets busy. And then I come back and then I'm like, wow, I really missed this. How could I disappear for that long? Second Scream 7 trailer will be released tomorrow. Listen, I don't know. I feel like it could happen at any moment. But didn't the first one drop on a Thursday? I don't know. Did Stu have Richie and Amber work for him? Absolutely. In my mind, that is exactly what happened. I have lots of videos on this where I go into great detail. If you want to check them out, you can find them in my playlist, my Stu Macher playlist and my Screen Theories playlist. Yeah, definitely. Like, you should definitely do some refresher videos. My most recent Stu video from like 3 weeks ago really was just like a refresher video, because it's like I was saying earlier, things just get lost in the sea of videos that we put out. Like your video about the Woodsboro area code was 2 years ago at this point, if not longer than that. And like I said, I feel like most people don't know about it. So even though you would technically be repeating content, majority of people probably haven't seen it. So yeah, it's worth redoing it. So yeah. Listen, I hope you're right. I'll be ready for it. Hopefully it happens, but can't get my hopes up too much. Yeah. Yeah, I've talked about this also. I agree. Like, I feel like I apologize because I feel like I'm always repeating myself. Maybe you're sick of hearing me say the same things over and over again, but I feel like it's important to have it be known. I don't know, but these new movies are mirroring the originals. Scream 5 and Scream 1, a lot of similarities. Scream 6 and Scream 2, a lot of similarities. We can assume that 7 is going to have a lot of similarities to 3. With 5 and 1, it was the boyfriend. With 6 and 2, it was the parent of the boyfriend. In Scream 3, we got Roman, where we found out that he was essentially pulling the strings in the original. You know, he is the reason for Billy doing everything. So what if in Scream 7 we find out that this killer is the reason for what Richie and Amber did? So it just makes sense. It all makes sense to me. Like, Stu is leading this cult. Richie and Amber were in his cult. He basically, Stu is pulling the strings for Richie and Amber. You know, if Richie and Amber are basically Billy and Stu, and Billy and Stu had a Roman, Richie and Amber have a Roman. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. Um, Third and final trailer in early February. Okay. I hope you're I hope you're right. I agree. If they have been giving us all these Easter eggs for nothing, then why? Why did you do that? He has to be the killer. I agree, Marcus. Yeah, you and I both agree that there's some clues in Scream 4 that Kirby was a killer. And it's just a shame that, like, because I feel like if that was the case, um, if they had continued with the franchise back then and made Scream 5 in 2012 or whatever, they would have possibly went there with it. But, you know, the Scream 5 that we got in 2022, it was far too late to revisit that. So it really does haunt me. the the version of Scream 5 that we could have gotten had they continued. Oh, it's Alex. Okay. Sorry. Um Oh my goodness. Cassandra is throwing out $20. Thank you so much. I seriously appreciate the support on the channel. That is super generous of you. And you already signed up to be a channel member tonight. So that would have been enough. But thank you so much. You didn't leave a comment with it. I don't know if you wanted to or if you're just throwing out the 20. Greatly appreciated. But if there is a comment you wanted to share, I'll look out for it in the chat before we wrap up in a few minutes. But thank you so much. Seriously. Late Thursday. Oh my god. Like, what time typically when that happens? I am so exhausted right now. Like, I'm probably only gonna go for like 5 more minutes just to make it an even 3-hour stream. And then after this, I'm going to bed. But Marcus, listen, if it drops tonight, which I feel like it won't, but what do I know? I don't know. But if the trailer comes out, please DM me a few times on Instagram because the buzzing of the DM might wake me up. Or if I wake up in the middle of the night and I see a bunch of DMs, then I might know, okay, something happened. Where was Roman during the events of Scream 2? That is a very good question. That I don't have an answer for. Maybe just working in Hollywood, making some movies. You know, it's really insane that like Roman was this successful director, or at least soon to be successful. You know, I don't know if like was Stab 3 going to be his first movie? Had he directed already? I mean, I know he says Variety called him a pariah. Is that just based off of the events around Stab 3's production? Does it have something to, like, was he already an established director in Hollywood? I don't know, but either way, directing Stab 3 would have been great for his career. So to give it all up just to murder his sister because his mom abandoned him is kind of silly. I guess, of course, he planned to get away with it, but come on. Going on 3 years, that is insane. Oh my god. Hey, Isaac, thanks for stopping by. We are never sick of hearing you repeat yourself. Thank you, J-Dev. That is very nice. Hi, Bernie. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up in about 2 minutes. Randy wasn't lying when he said everyone is a suspect. Very true. I definitely think Stu's gonna actually be alive. But I think they might try to fool us in the first half of the movie with the AI version. So that people who, you know, people always ask me like, oh, you're so sure Stu's gonna be alive, so wouldn't that kind of ruin the surprise for you? And it's like, no, because there's still a question of, will they actually do it? Will they have the balls to do it? So even though I'm expecting it, I'll still be surprised if they pull it off. But I think they might do the AI thing in the beginning so that people like me who are expecting it might be like, oh, I guess this is it. I guess he is just AI. But then guess what? He is alive. Oh my god. Antonio just sent in a $100 super chat. This is absolutely insane. Antonio, I cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate this, truly. Like, I am just stop it. I am blown away that and so grateful and touched that you would even think to do this. Like, wow, I'm like struggling to find the words. Thank you so much. You said, I swear your streams are the biggest dopamine hits for a Scream fan. Now you got me in the mood to rewatch 1 through 6. By the way, I spoke to Stu and he confirmed he's definitely alive. Hope everyone is doing well. 2026 is going to be a good one. Wow. Thank you, Antonio. I am doing well. 2026 is going to be a good one. I agree. Yeah, now that I'm, I haven't done a stream in a while. So, and people in my personal life are not as obsessed with Scream like I am. So I don't talk about Scream in my everyday life with people that I know. So it's been a while since I've done a stream, and just talking about it with you guys here tonight has gotten me so amped up. It's honestly what I needed to really get me in the mood for Scream 7. Just because even though I am excited for it, believe me, you guys know I'm excited for it, but just the lack of marketing for it and the lack of talk about the movie has gotten me I'm not as excited as I should be, I feel like, until tonight. Talking about it with you guys has gotten me so hyped, and it's like motivating me to make some more theory videos and do more live streams. So to hear you say that, to say my streams are a big dopamine hit for you, makes me so happy, because that is how I feel. I feel the same way. And definitely talking about it tonight has also just gotten me in the mood to do a rewatch, possibly 2 rewatches before 7 comes out. But wow, Antonio, like, this is so beyond generous of you, and I truly appreciate it, and I cannot emphasize that enough. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm glad that Stu let you know that he's alive. Let's watch it play out on the 27th of February. We have a couple more super chats that came in. Nicholas, thank you so much for the super chat. You said it would be dope if Sid had a line in Scream 7 on the phone with Ghostface, and she said, "You know I've never lost, right? You sure you want to do this?" That would be pretty good. I definitely want to hear Sydney, like, give some badass lines. Like, she has earned that right. She is a badass bitch. Like, come on. I hope we get something like that. I would like that as well. And it's true. She's really never lost. So I can't wait. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Nicholas, for your super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Yes, Scream Fanatic. Yes, absolutely. I am going to watch your video. Probably tomorrow, because like I said, I'm so exhausted. I have a little list of things I need to watch. Yeah, you're definitely gonna watch your video. Thank you so much, Scream Fanatic, for your super chat and becoming a channel member. Greatly appreciate you. And thank you for just contributing to the Scream community and putting out your own theories out there. I love watching other people's videos, so I am looking forward to it, watching your video, and I will definitely leave a comment and let you know my thoughts. But thank you so much. Okay. Armani, I am glad you brought this up. So you said, I don't think Anna Camp is the killer. Sydney will obviously recognize Stu's sister like how she recognizes Mrs. Loomis. So, I have said before that I actually think that Sydney might not recognize her because, first of all, Stu's sister, we don't know for sure if like his sister's older or younger. I would think if Anna Camp's playing the sister, I think she's younger than Matthew Lillard. So I would assume his sister, Leslie, is younger. Either way, though, just because Sydney knew Stu back in Woodsboro doesn't necessarily mean she knew his sister. Let's say his sister's older. Maybe she was in college. Maybe she was older and too cool to be hanging out with the younger kids. You know, if she was younger, why would Stu and his friends be hanging out with his younger sister? They're too cool for that. You know what I mean? And I need to point out that in Scream 4, Sydney did not notice or recognize Judy Hicks. And she went to school with Judy Hicks. They're the same age. And they were in the play together. The Peter Pan play, I think it was, right? And Sydney even apologizes to her for not remembering her. And Judy was like, oh, you know, you had a lot going on at the time. So she didn't recognize Judy, who she literally is like the same age as, was in a play with her. So I think it's believable that she wouldn't recognize Stu's sister, who wasn't necessarily in the friend group, wasn't hanging around often. So I think it's totally possible. And I hope that is the case. Gonna listen to some Scream soundtrack while doing Scream research tonight. Nice. Yeah, sometimes I have the first soundtrack, a CD, and sometimes I'll just throw it on. But I don't have any of the other movies, the soundtracks. I need to get them. Also, I only have Scream 3 on DVD, believe it or not. I don't have the rest of the franchise. But at this point, I'm going to wait until 7 comes out on DVD and get like a box set or something. Around the midnight hour, usually. Oh my god, how often does that happen with trailers? I feel like there's not really any movies ever that I've been this obsessed with to bother to even find out when the trailer's dropping. So I didn't even realize midnight drops were a thing. Let's see here. Anna Camp has been hiding her role in the movie. Yeah, I mean, pretty much all the characters, we don't know any details. I'm hoping that the second trailer shows all of the other characters. It has to, right? I mean, we got to hear we got to see Anna Camp, hear some dialogue from one of the friends. You know, we saw McKenna Grace, but she didn't speak in the trailer. We didn't even see like Asa Gurman, if that's how you say his name. And what's the other one? Sam Rittner, something. I don't know. I don't even know what a pariah is. Loving the stream. Thank you, Bernie. I appreciate you. Unfortunately, we are going to wrap it up, which I hate to do. I'm having so much fun. Like, I wish I could go longer. This is literally my longest stream ever. 3 hours and 10 minutes. That's insane. I've never streamed for this long. I wish I could keep going, but I am exhausted. Could be Film Gamer. The ghost face in the attic could be Stu. Unused ideas from 3 will be present. Yeah, I agree, Popcorn Bunny. You know, we've waited long enough after all the holdups with Scream 7. Like, let's get some marketing. I don't know. Dexter Resurrection Season 2, same. I don't know if you know, Chris, but a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I put out a massive update video. It's like a long video, like 26 minutes worth of Dexter updates for Resurrection Season 2. If you haven't seen it, check it out. If Stu is alive, I'll send $1,000. That would be amazing. ACDC is here. Happy 2026. Glad you could make it. Unfortunately, we are wrapping up, but I might stream again Sunday, so stay tuned for that. Turn on all notifications. Are you going to make a Scream 7 character prediction video? I am. Just yesterday, I posted an Instagram story saying that I want to, but I kind of want to wait for the second trailer to drop just to get a little bit more information, feel out the characters a little bit more. There's really nothing to go off of. So if I were to do a prediction video now, it would just be like a shot in the dark, like nothing to go off of really. So I'm kind of waiting for some more stuff. Thank you, Russell. I appreciate you. Okay. I unfortunately gotta go. Before I go, I would love this, JDev, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Clyde Phillips has talked about how he didn't like the character of Hannah. You know, they brought her in after he wasn't on the show anymore. So I don't think he has any intention of bringing her back, unfortunately. Okay, before I go, let's see what this poll is at. We got 116 votes, and I think, yeah, Mindy won. You guys think Mindy is more likely to die? We'll see. I don't know. All right. Thank you guys so much. This has been a blast. Longest stream ever. So much fun. Has me so hyped for Scream 7. Thank you to everyone for hanging out for the past 3 hours. Sending in all your comments and your questions. I apologize if I didn't get to your comment. It's nothing personal. I wasn't intentionally ignoring you. It's just so many comments come in, which is amazing, and I appreciate it, but it's just so hard. It's impossible to get to everyone. But a special thank you to everyone who sent in a super chat or signed up to be a new channel member. We have Johnny, Zork, Jaws Webbo, Billy, Silver Princess, Stumacher's Cat, Aiden Bernard Studios, Alex, DJC Combat, Brett, Roman. Who else? Scream Fanatic, JDev, Marcus, Terror Cut Studios. Who else? Cassandra, thank you. Will Miser. Thank you to all of you guys, but Antonio coming through with the $100 super chat. Thank you again. Thank you so much. Nicholas was another one with the super chat. And that is everyone, I believe. I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. Oh, okay. We got one more super chat from Cassandra. Thank you so much. What are your thoughts on the new actor from Nobody Wants This being cast? So I did share some of my thoughts in my video from last night. I think, I'm not that familiar with him, but he is funny in that show. So I do think he's going to bring some of that comic relief to Scream that we love from the first 6 movies. So I am excited for it. And I'm just happy that it's another suspect for us. He just adds to the suspect pool. Maybe he'll be a red herring. Who knows? Maybe he'll be in the cult. Like, he is on the older side, so maybe he has some history with Sydney. Maybe he knows Sydney from the past. I don't know, but I'm intrigued to find out more. But yeah, I just hope he is kind of a funny character. Thank you again, Cassandra, so much for the super chat. You have been very generous tonight. Thank you, Donovan. Thank you so much, JDev. Yes, I do also have Patreon. All right, I will talk to you guys soon. Hopefully Sunday. I'm thinking Sunday for a stream. So turn on all notifications so that you don't miss out, because I don't know if I'm going to plan it ahead of time. I might just pop on here if I get a free moment, but love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you soon.